as completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
Formally filed notice of intent to seek the death penalty for Luigi Mangione. This is in connection.
It was the kind of crime that feels ripped straight from a Hollywood thriller. The CEO of a major company, gunned down on the streets of New York, and the alleged killer caught just days later in a way no one could have predicted. But what investigators uncovered after Luigi Mangione's arrest would leave the entire country asking, was this really just a random act, or the tip of something much darker?
This killer was not a hero. He should not be hailed.
In the early days of December, the nation was rocked by headlines. UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson had been shot and killed in broad daylight. A manhunt unfolded across several states, with authorities racing to find a suspect before he could disappear. The break finally came in the most unexpected way, not at a border, not in a secret hideout, but inside a Pennsylvania McDonald's. There, sitting calmly with a hash brown in hand, was Luigi Mangione. A sharp-eyed employee recognized him and tipped off the police, ending the frantic search. For many, the image of a suspected corporate assassin nonchalantly eating fast food felt almost surreal. How could something so massive end with something so mundane? But the real shock wasn't in how they caught him. It was what they found next that sent chills down investigators' spines.
Circumstances of this alleged murder and also where it took place, Errol, just elevates this crime.
According to federal filings, the attack was cold, calculated, and carefully executed. Thompson was shot early in the morning as he made his way through the streets of Manhattan. Witnesses reported hearing almost nothing. The weapon, police say, was equipped with a silencer. For days, theories swirled. Was it a business deal gone wrong? A personal vendetta? Or something even bigger? Authorities initially struggled to find a clear motive, but they knew one thing. Whoever had planned this knew exactly what they were doing. This wasn't a crime of passion, it was a hit. And the chilling premeditation became undeniable once investigators uncovered Mangione's personal diary.
In Pennsylvania and New York. The judge overseeing the case said she hopes to set a trial date in early December.
Tucked away in Mangione's belongings was a diary, one that read more like the script of a psychological thriller than the journal of an average man. Page after page detailed months of planning, surveillance, and unsettling thoughts. One entry stood out. Insurance is the target. Checks all the boxes. It wasn't just ramblings. It was a blueprint. Speculation exploded. Was Mangione acting alone, or was he part of a larger conspiracy targeting corporate leaders? The cryptic notes raised more questions than answers. And so far, authorities have been tight-lipped about whether others might have been involved. But while investigators dug deeper, Mangione's legal battle was just getting started.
Ever a death case, this is one.
Mangione faces 4 federal counts, including murder through the use of a firearm.
Federal prosecutors wasted no time hitting Mangione with a laundry list of charges. Murder through the use of a firearm, 2 counts of stalking, and an additional firearms offense related to the silencer. In court, Mangione pled not guilty to all charges, setting the stage for a massive legal showdown. Prosecutors made it clear they intended to seek the death penalty, one of the harshest punishments available under federal law. Mangione's defense team quickly fired back, filing motions to block the death penalty and arguing that the government's case was riddled with weaknesses. With both sides gearing up for an all-out battle, tensions inside and outside the courtroom began to rise. And as the courtroom drama escalated, the case quickly spilled over into the world of politics and media. In an era where every major crime becomes political fodder, this case was no different. Former President Donald Trump didn't mince words, slamming Mangione and anyone showing sympathy for him. On the other side, controversial journalist Taylor Lorenz sparked outrage after suggesting there might be more complexity to the case than the media was portraying. Social media platforms exploded with debates. Was Mangione simply a disturbed individual, or was there a broader story being buried? lines blurred between justice, politics, and public opinion, creating a media firestorm that threatened to overshadow the actual evidence. Meanwhile, the biggest question still loomed. When would Mangione finally face a jury of his peers? Despite months passing, no official trial date has been set for either the state or federal charges Mangione faces. In the meantime, a crucial deadline is fast approaching, May 27th, when all evidence must be turned over to the defense. Experts say these next few weeks could be explosive, with new details potentially leaking that might reshape the entire case. Will more shocking revelations come to light? Could the diary hint at accomplices yet unnamed? Or will the case proceed as a solitary act of cold-blooded violence? For now, Mangione remains behind bars, his fate hanging in the balance as America watches. In a case already packed with mystery, chilling details, and high-stakes courtroom drama, one thing is clear. The story of Luigi Mangione isn't finished yet. As the investigation deepens and the trial inches closer, one can't help but wonder, what else is hiding in the shadows?
Death penalty against Mangione. Federal prosecutors say he deserves the death penalty because, quote, Mangione expressed intent to target an entire industry and
to a whole other level. And today we'll have his arraignment where we'll get to hear what he has to say.
And we're just seeing some of the footage of when he was physically brought to New York. There was such a large police posture. The mayor even turned up. Just an example of how much attention this case is receiving. We know that his team has been fundraising for him. How challenging then will it be to see?
At a lower Manhattan federal courthouse where no cameras are allowed, Luigi Mangione's first court appearance in weeks, now wearing prison garb, produced this exchange with the judge, fresh off a federal indictment. How do you plead? Mangione responding, not guilty. The plea comes after an early April declaration from Attorney General Pam Bondi on Fox News.
The president's directive was very clear. We are to seek the death penalty when possible. If there was ever a death case, this is one.
Mangione faces 4 federal counts, including murder through the use of a firearm, which makes him eligible for the federal death penalty. In the killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, New York State doesn't permit the death penalty.
This corporate greed has got to go!
But as the public support for Mangione is manifested in the form of chants and major dollars, the government argued in an intent filing overnight that his case merits capital punishment because he sought to, quote, amplify an ideological message and to provoke broad-based resistance to the victim's industry. Mangione's attorneys have called it a political stunt and today pushed back on the idea of holding his state trial before his federal trial, telling the judge constitutional issues will be impacted if we are forced to try that case first.
It's going to be